Hey everyone, Kanzior here, and this is the last round and 7th round for the KOTE tournament in Tesla. This is an Archon round, and when I saw the list of my opponents, I thought, oh no, this is one of these high SAS, and I literally looked at the difference, and I thought, I have no chance of making anything happen here. There are so many things that are just wildly disturbing for my deck. I need my creatures to be on board. My Ember generation is really reliant on that. And yeah, that was just not really happening there. There was like 2 Axioms, 2 Chimera. Then I looked at the combos. It was just going to be really difficult. The good of the many as well was going to be painful. But the shadows package was just terrible. The Hawk, and I rely so much on my artifacts. The too much to protect, the double Ronnie, the Brand. There was so many things that could just wreck whatever I was trying to do. So my plan was very simple. I need to do what my deck does best. And that is protect my Kirby's and try to get as much efficiency as I can by leveraging the Kirby's and the Imperial Road to really go through as fast as possible for my Saurians and Brobna. The other aspect that I was thinking about was my opponent had, 11 Mars creatures, 11 Star Alliance creatures. So that meant most likely Uncharted Lands was not going to get played, which is one of my reliable source of Ember generation. So with these thoughts, let's dive into the game. And here we are, and just getting started here. Having another quick look at the deck, and I'm looking at my hand and I'm thinking it's not too bad a start, because I have a Taunt in hand and I have Morpheus and Kirby, so I'm going to keep that. So yeah, playing Saurians and playing the Brutodon, then I can get my 2 creatures behind the Kirby, play the wards, get 2 triggers out of Kirby thanks to Morpheus. So this is not too bad. I'm thinking a little bit without my opponent there, but I think this is the way to go. And he's going with Yishi, which is not great. Information Officer Grey, which is going to be a massive acceleration. I love Information Officer Grey. And he's archiving 1 Chimera and Ingram. So, well, actually, with the Imperium, I've got a good counter to that. So I'm going to play Morpheus, play the Kirby, and get 2 triggers out of Kirby, which is amazing. So my bet is I want to get rid of my Swords card. So I'm going to Imperium the 2 creatures so that they can't be put back in my deck. And I'm going probably to play the Colosseum just to threaten. I've got good creatures on the board. Now I'm thinking, what should I do with that board in front of me? With these in play, he could pretty much play Star Alliance the whole game and I wouldn't see the light of day. So I need to take care of that one way or the other. And I've got a perfect solution with the Universal Translator. So exactly as I thought, he's going into Star Alliance and just go. This is just terrible, because especially with Yishi, he can also reap and capture. He gets a 4th creature, and he got to archive the breaker heal. So he's starting to archive his shadows, which is really not good. So I've got to stop that. So I'm going to play the universal translator here on the Morpheus. I'm going to Car next to Kirby just to protect it. I'm going to Reap with the Morpheus, kill Yishi with the Brutodon, Tremor everyone. I've got to play all these tremors, and oh yes, I've got to Reap first with then Tremor everyone, and I finish with 3 Ember. So I'm not too bad. I'm worried a little bit with his warded creatures, but overall I'm not too bad. I'm getting some interesting plays here because I want to get that Imperial Road in play. I still got a lot of creatures in Saurians to play, and that would be really good. But he goes into Saurians, and he's got some Legionnaires, he's got a lot of things in Saurians as well, and I don't want to get completely flawed by creatures. He plays the Axiom. The problem with playing the Axiom here is that he is going to remove the wards on these creatures, at least on the grey. But he plays a Tricerian, and it's warding the Tricerian as well. But this deck is really annoying because one of the problems, I don't have any blasters. I can't ping these little wards here and there. And he's playing Ancient Power, warding more creatures. And at that point, it looks pretty bad. And I'm lucky he hasn't moved the Ember from the O deck. And he could have, honestly, because if he looks at my deck list, I don't have any steel. He could have just moved it to the Officer Grey and warded the Officer Grey. It would have been actually a pretty good move, I think. But I'm lucky he hasn't done it. At that point, I'm thinking my best option is get as much value as I can out of my Star Alliance. Yeah, going for Star Alliance, and this is not the play I prefer. Because I should go to check here, and I'm not going to. And I think this is a mistake. Because if I'm going to check, oh actually I am going to check, interesting. No, that's what I thought. I should have gone to check, and that's the number one misplay I'm doing here. He's going to Star Alliance, he's going to remove his stun, and play another bunch of creatures. So he plays Kirby, plays Explore Rover, and this is just going to be not manageable. And now, right now, I'm thanking God I have still the Axiom. Now's the time. If there's ever been a good time, now's the time. And this actually can be a fairly efficient round if I do it well. Yeah, because I've got the force field. So I'm going to play the force field on Kirby. I'm going to Reap Kirby. I am going to Rip with that one. It's maybe a misplay. Maybe I could have done it in another way, try to get a ward off. But I'm going to Axiom. Protect the Morpheus and use my Imperial Road to get as much value of the Imperial Road as possible. I love this card. This is a really strong card. So I'm keeping up the pace and I'm going to 8. Not thinking so much, not trying to think too much about the too much to protect really. But that's where I am. I think the game would have looked very different if I had gone to check on the previous round and forged with the stealth mode. I'm realizing now this is probably something I should have done better, because now he's going to too much protect me, which would have not been the case. He's going to play Ronnie. He's going to play Breaker Heal. Now I'm thinking maybe he could have put me off check just with the Ronnie. And he's going to be Into the Night and Karma Eclipse. Oh, this is dreadful. And he's going to 9 and I can't forge again. And he's shuffled a bunch of my Brutal and Auxiliary, and so I'm thinking, and that's the beauty of just with one creature, one Kirby in play, and only one Starland card in hand, I can pretty much play 60% of my hand right now. So, well, obviously I do not get any Starlands cards, and I don't want the 6 Emperor, so I'll probably want the 6 Kemper the furthest away from me. The Alaka next turn will probably be a Brokner turn, so I need to prepare for that. Now I want to play the Centurion. Yeah, I'll do whatever I can. I will reap with Kirby. Unfortunately, there's no taunt around him to protect, and I would Berserker Slam into the medic. I think this is a proper play. And as you know, he's got his Odak since the beginning of the game. I haven't even tried to get the Ember back because I don't need it. I just don't need it. Alright, I'm getting now the 6 Emperor, but next turn is probably going to be a Brokner turn, the first of my game, but I really need to get rid of these cards. I mean, I could still do Starlands and play 2 cards. That's just a little bit slow. Playing the good of the many, stripping my ward off, and yeah, killing the Kirby. Finally. And he's got a pretty terrifying Soil board for me. I gotta play board now here. I don't have a choice. I'm gonna play my staff. I'm gonna play Overrun, the Alaka, and I need to remember, to play my Power Guardian. Very, very important in this deck to always get rid of the cards of the Soil creatures, even if they come in play stand. It's extremely important. And I get back my Morpheus and my second Kirby. So I need to be smart about this one, because if I play the Kirby, I won't be able to protect it. The 6 Emperor will be, and the Kirby will not get any triggers this time. Okay, so he goes Saurian. He Brutodons and Rip twice, gets to 6. Yeah, I don't really know why he killed the Alaka. This is a really weak and useless creature. But I think he's correct in the sense that my board is very important and I don't have so many creatures. I'm going to just play the and I'll put I'll put the Cloaking Dongle in the middle, hoping that I will get some level of protection. I will kill the Auxiliary. I think this is the correct move. I mean, I wish I could have had one extra pip of damage. No, and now I'm hesitating to play the 6 Emperor, but I shouldn't. I mean, I need to play it. I need to play it at the same time as my tribute. He's going to forge his second key, and that's my bet. And I get the tribute. Okay, so now things are looking pretty good, except that he probably is not going to generate enough Ember next turn. and that's a little bit problematic. So he's doing against his double Ronnie, and now I don't have a choice. And this is I think this is a really turning point in the game. He's got his two Ronnies. He's probably got a Chimera Eclipse somewhere left in his deck or his hand. I just can't let him play it. I just need to destroy this guy, these two Ronnies. Otherwise, I will always be in trouble. This is a really difficult choice. Now, thinking about it, I think triggering the tribute with the Kirby would have been an option. But I think I'm better off with just playing the Tremor. So I will actually attack with my Kirby and my Morpheus to destroy the two Ronnies, because I don't want him to Chimera them another time. He's got 10 cards left in his deck. It's going to kill me if he steals more. And I'm stunning everyone. And now the question is, do I use the Imperial Road for the Centurion Stenopius? And I think this is my second misplay of the game. I'm going to do it. While I was just... in itself, playing the Stenopius is just me being too greedy here. Because I'm thinking, I can exalt him, and I can just put more Ember. And I'm not even realizing that Morpheus doubles its effect. And it's a misplay that kind of isn't. Because actually... Well, let's see. If it doesn't do anything, my Tribute 6 Semper is going to have massive value. If he does something about it, hopefully that brings him to 4 Ember, and I'm in a good place as well. And he's playing Shadows, which is probably going to mean the Chimera. He's hawking the Imperial Road, and he's Chimering, which gets him to 6. Fortunately, I still have one Zorin creature. And I'm looking kind of, it's interesting. I'm having 3 counters on the Colosseum. So I'm going to double Tribute 6 Semper. That's Tribute, Exalt, Tribute, and 6 Semper. I'm gonna I'm gonna, on top of that, Chant of Hubris, the Ember off the Odak, getting to 6 Semper the guy. And here goes my Cloaking Dongle. And I'm looking at my Colosseum, and I have 3 counters on Colosseum. And I have 12 Ember. If I'm playing my cards right, I could get and finish forging my last key with the Colosseum. I doubt it will happen, but it could happen. Okay, and he's playing a bunch of creatures. Now I'm happy because I've got to be very smart about this. I'm forging my key, and it's at 3 Ember. I can go either Robnar, or I can continue with my Starlines. And then I have the Enchanted Lands. I promised myself not to play, but I have 6 Ember, and I'm already in check. And I've killed the 2 Ronnies. So I'm going to make a very bold move and hope I can close the game within the next 3 turns without having him rip a single time for my Enchanted Lens Ember. So I'm going to rip and get an extra Ember, go to 8, and Tremor to stun his board. So, unfortunately, he's got a tribute. So this is probably what's going to happen, and it's tributing on the O deck. I'm back to 4 Ember, and Axiom, which is a very smart move. Well, at least I have no chance of doing anything with. And now I've got 2 Brobnar cards left in hand. And I'm seeing my Fire Breath coming in next turn. And that's going to be for my second very bold move, and probably very stupid, which is I am going to play Brobnar for the win. And I need 2 turns, and if I get my 2 turns, I can win. I know he doesn't have any more Ember pips in his deck, so this is going to be a crazy move. So I'm playing, and I'm going to even push to Iron Staff my Mog Hunter, finish my turn, and get my last 2 Brobnar cards. And I'm not getting anything sexy, no tributes, no, nothing like that. So this is it. Next turn, hopefully it doesn't go to a crazy amount of Ember, and I can do something about it next turn. Essentially right now, and he's got Breaker Heal, Mac the Knife, Brent, which he plays, interestingly enough, bringing me to 5. And right in there, and then he gets the Duskrunner. So right now, it's still at 4, and that's how lucky I am at that point. He was clocked in with cards that couldn't really generate him any Ember. So I see my salvation into playing Brobnar. I've got my Fire Breath in hand, and just doing the math, I can close this game with my Brobnar. Unfortunately, I cannot get to 3 kills in fights, which would have been amazing, because then I could have even closed the game by playing the Colosseum, which I don't think it happened ever. But I can at least get the Ember off the Odak. And if I get the Ember off the Odak, no matter how he plays, and I would be in a good place. This Breaker is badly positioned. Yeah, I deal some damage to the Odak. The Skull will be able to shoot the Odak. Would have brought me to... Yeah, I'm going to... Actually, not putting the damage here would have brought me to 5 on the Colosseum, which is a little bit silly. If I would have been able to kill 3 people, I would have done it, because then I would have been able to close. But I'm finishing, I got the Ember, I'm at 11, and my opponent is conceding. I mean, I think his deck ran out of steam. Finishing with a Brobnar was exhilarating, and I just wish I had 1 extra kill to trigger the Colosseum. It would have been amazing. Alright, thanks very much for watching, and this is the last game of this tournament. We're waiting for the final ranking and see if we're able to go to the second stage of that tournament. But in any case, I will probably do an analysis and go through all the decks I played against and the kind of strategies that different players took bringing decks into this tournament of Tesla, where you play Archon one time and Reversal the next.